Hi, my name's the Spaz Devil, and in this video I'm going to give you a no bullshit guide to the Alchemical Hydra. In terms of the gear you will need, the better range gear you have, obviously the better. I'm going with an imbued Slayer helm, the Avers Assembler, the Necklace of Anguish. I'm using a Rada's Blessing 3 because I've not done all my diaries. If you've done your diaries, bring the Blessing 4 for that +1 prayer bonus. The Crystal Body, the Crystal Legs. I am using Brimstone Boots because, again, haven't done my diaries because I'm a silly sausage. I'm using the Barrows Gloves because the Zerite Vambraces are just not worth the 180 million that they currently are on the GE, and a Ring of the Gods imbued for that sweet prayer bonus. And of course, we're going with the Corrupted Bow of Fardinen. In terms of our inventory, we are bringing Divine Ranging Potions. Make sure you bring an anti-venom. You probably won't get venomed if you do this properly, but you obviously will need one with you just in case you mess up. I take 5 Super Restore Potions, which is good for sometimes up to 10 kills a trip. Sea Turtles, because they are a great food source, nice and cheap, 600 GP. We've got some teleports. We have, obviously, our Draman Staff and some high outs for all of the drops that you will be getting. Don't be like me and do all your diaries. The Alchemical Hydra will only attack you with range and mage, and both of which can be protected against entirely. Along with the standard attacks, there are also a few special attacks which this guy likes to throw out, all of which are super manageable, and I will show you the no bullshit way of getting through all of this to get really quick kills. I will also be sharing all the tiles that I put in the room to make this boss absolutely brain dead so that you will make no mistakes. Feel free to pause the video now and put all of these tiles on the ground in the room with the Alchemical Hydra. You can see that they are color-coded to match the phase that the Hydra will be on while you are in that part of the room. They are also numbered from 1 to 13, and if you follow them, you will have no mistakes going through this boss. It's also a good idea to wait till the Hydra is in this position before running into the room for the first kill, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Now, before we go into the room, let's talk about quick prayers. Now, I have mine set to rigor and to protect range. Now, you can use Eagle Eye as a good alternative. The Hydra's defense gets lower the longer the fight goes on, so you can use Eagle Eye. Now, the Hydra will attack you with either range or mage when you first go into the room, and there's no way to determine this. So, I have found that using Protect from range most of the time is what he starts attacking you with. But if you do get hit with one magic shot when you run in, you're not going to take a lot of damage. Just change your prayer to Protect from magic, and now we're going to talk about the rest of the fight. Now, I will explain everything step by step and slow down things that I think that you should take note of so that you can learn. So from this point of the guide, you're going to be able to just watch this, go through it, and know exactly what you need to do. So first, what we're going to do is take a sip of our Divine Ranging Potion, turn our quick prayers on, and enter the room and move as quickly as we can over to the first tile mark number 1, as you can see here. So we're lucky, and he does in fact start off this run with range, which means we will take no damage when we go in. Again, if he attacks you with magic, just change over to magic, don't worry about it. I like to try and sneak an extra hit in before I get to the first tile. If you are worried about counting all the attacks, don't be, because this animation right here when he whips his head back means that he is about to change his attack. As soon as he does this on the first rotation in the room, he will spit this acid out. Simply click on tile number 2 and you have avoided all the damage, and make sure you change your prayer to either magic or range respectively. Continue to hit the Hydra while you move your way through these tiles. Now, what we're looking to do is get the Hydra on top of these vents, because when the Hydra is on the corresponding vent, it will deal damage to the Hydra and massively lower his defense. So what we're going to do is move over to this final green tile. It is a green tile. Please do not get confused by the fact that I have a tile marker underneath me. And when the Hydra turns blue, when he loses a head, like just here, that's when you will go to this tile here, which will lure him over the vent, which will then make him roar, and you know that his defense has been lowered. As soon as you do this, move over to the next tile mark number 7 to put you in the corner of the room. Continue attacking, change your prayer when he whips his head back, and we will get ready for the next attack. The next thing the Hydra is going to do is throw these balls of lightning around the room, but we are only looking for one in particular when it lands about here. That lightning by his foot. As soon as you see that one, you're going to run to the next square, which is marked on the other side of the room. Let's have a look at that in real time. You can also use this run to sneak in a sip of Super Restore, or if you're really confident, you can actually attack him while you're running, but do that when you have practiced this and really know what you're doing. He might also change his attacks while you're running across, so just keep an eye out for that head flick. And again, you can just change your prayers while you're running and he will not be able to hit you. Now, once you've got to that side of the room and the lightning is stopped, you've taken absolutely no damage. Move over to the next tile that's marked, the one that I'm on right now, and wait for him to lose another head and to turn red. And as soon as he turns red and loses the next head, all you need to do is drag him to the tile that I currently have my mouse cursor over. So now we've dealt enough damage to make him turn red. We're going to drag him over to this final tile and he is going to do the roar. We can then move over to the next tile marked, just so we can get a little bit nearer to him. Remember, there is no melee damage, so do not worry about it. And continue to attack the Hydra until he goes into his next special attack, which I'm going to explain to you really, really easily. Now, for those of you that are wondering, there is a lightning skip method that I ignored a few minutes ago. That's because it's completely pointless. It won't save you any time. This is what we're interested in. When the Hydra starts moving to the middle of the room, go ahead and go to the next tile mark, number 12. Do not attack him until he's in the middle of the room, or it will pull you off the tile. And that's why when you're trying to do lightning skips, you are getting dragged off the tile and he is slapping you. Now, when he is in the middle of the room, he's going to fire these two big walls of fire. Now, what would normally happen is a flame is going to chase you around and you will have to avoid it a little bit how you have to avoid the acid with Vorkath. Now, after he's done the two walls of fire, after about a second and a half, he will lean his head back. At that moment, you click on the final tile and it will avoid all of the fire damage and it will not chase you or deal any damage. You can then continue to attack him from here. This fire skip method is actually really, really easy. You don't have to time it perfectly. Just wait a second and a half after the two firewalls start to come up, and then you will get into the right position and avoid that chasing fireball. Now, just make sure that your prayers are all correct so that you're not taking any damage, and continue to hit him. When he gets to a low enough health, he will enter what's called the black stage, or some people call it the Jad phase. That's where he is right now. This is the animation for it. As soon as that happens, you have to change to the opposite prayer that you were just praying, because the first attack he's going to launch is going to be the opposite to the one you were just praying. Now, every attack he does, you are going to want to switch to the next prayer. He's going to do this alternating for 3 attacks. Now, after he's done 3 attacks, he's going to spit out another set of acid. All you need to do is move 2 tiles away. You can go exactly where I'm going to show you now. Now, the acid does not count as a prayer switch. So once you've switched your prayers from the last attack and he does the acid, leave your prayers exactly where they are and he will continue the cycle of where he left off. This catches loads of people out and it will probably get you while you're learning, but honestly, after 2 or 3 kills, you will know exactly what you're doing. Just continue to alternate between magic and range accordingly as he does the attacks. I like to change as soon as the projectile actually hits me. Now, if the Jad phase goes on for too long, he will do another acid attack after 8 attacks. Just look out for it and make sure to move when he does it. Now, it never normally happens to me. I normally kill him before he gets a chance to do the acid phase again. But if your gear's maybe not as good as mine, or maybe if you don't have 99 range like I do, he might take a bit longer to go down, so you might have to avoid another acid attack. And that is literally the entire fight in a nutshell. It's really simple. It's really, really, really easy to get the hang of, and you will be able to do this very quickly. So what I'm going to do now is show you a kill in real time, starting from tile 1, as if the room has now reset. So we've just killed him, the room will reset. You're going to take the time to pick up your drops, alch your alkaballs, and then go to tile number 1 and reset yourself for the next kill. Now this is all the loot that I got from 137 Hydra kills. We didn't get any uniques, and on top of this there was some alchemical drops which are not included in the actual tally. The total amount that we got with the alchemicals and everything actually ended up being about 14 million in only 137 kills. So this thing absolutely prints money. I hope this guide was helpful. If you like this and you want to see more, like, subscribe, and put a comment of what you would like to see me do next, and I will give you another no bullshit guide. This is the Spaz Devil, over and out.